If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
Yeah, well, not quite. Yeah, let's stick to football.
We are back, baby! Am I live? Hey, these are family matters right here.
Hey, is that a regulation size football or what?
Hey, I think that's a first down in my book. Am I live? Are we good? Are we live here? No, your people, my people. Hey, I'm glad they worked it out. We're here now, so let's fucking go. Hey, I'm pumped. You guys are doing a hell of a job here at the Round Robin Pod.
Some sort of like welcome to the pod.
Hey, there it is.
No. You gotta do something.
Yeah, we need an intro, dude. Fucking welcome to the pod. Recording in progress. Welcome back. What's up, J-Mac? How we
How's
doing?
it going?
Now let's see. That leaves me with I have 2 picks left, and you probably have 3, right?
Yeah, I have the Jaguars
Okay, so another we match on that one too.
and the Raiders.
I liked the Raiders too. I didn't end up playing them, but I liked the Raiders. I liked the Browns again too.
Oh, I actually like the Eagles.
Did you play that one?
No, I don't think I'm
Okay.
gonna play that one. That one's
What's
close.
your fifth game?
The Niners.
Whoa.
I take the Niners.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So everybody's submitting now. Okay, so well, the Niners wait, I didn't talk you out of the Niners with my whole spiel?
Well, I already had submitted.
Oh, you did. Did you submit mine too?
No, yeah, I didn't know yours.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll text you mine right now. Seahawks, Jets, Giants, Commanders, Jaguars. So why don't we do the Raiders next? Because I agree. I like the Raiders in this spot. I didn't play them in the contest, but you did. So you go ahead.
Yeah, there's just been so few trends as reliable as the Mike Tomlin trend. Just
Yeah.
as a road dog and a home dog, you bet Mike Tomlin basically just as a dog.
Yep.
But especially as a road favorite, you fade the Steelers, and everything is just bottomed out for the Raiders. Switching quarterbacks is not a good sign. Aiden O'Connell coming in for Minshew. He might be an upgrade. I don't know. He's definitely a lot less mobile than Minshew, which might be a big problem with TJ Watt. But I don't know. It just
let me touch
like...
on both of those things and hold that because I have good stuff for both. Not only has the Tomlin trend been good, the Raiders trend has been good also. We said this going week 1. When they win, you fade them. When they lose, you play them. They're a team that thrives on emotion, and they quit in that Broncos game. The stats actually said that they should have only lost that game by 4 or 5 points, and it just completely unraveled on them after Minshew threw that pick 6. It doesn't matter to me what these quarterbacks are obviously even. That's why they couldn't figure out which one to start. I do think that there is an upgrade from playing O'Connell because they don't want to flip-flop back and forth. So now that O'Connell's starting, they're going to call a very conservative game, and they're going to keep him in spots where he isn't going to make huge mistakes. So that, to me, favors an under, which favors a home team getting points. I think they'll be very, very conservative. I also think the Steelers are a bit overblown. The other thing is Tomlin, the other trends that are really interesting is Tomlin on the road. The Steelers games on the road always go under. So that's also good for catching 3 points at home. I think my handicap for this game is both teams play very, very conservatively. You have it
On the flip side, the Steelers just don't want to make any mistakes to allow the Raiders to beat them.
You have the exact same thing happening with both quarterbacks. The
Right.
Steelers do not want to go to Russell Wilson. They want to play Justin Fields, and they want him to stop making fuck ups so that they can say, hey, we picked this guy. We brought him along. He's our guy. He's going to get us where we need to go. He needs to stop making mistakes. So they're going to call really conservative. The Raiders are going to call really conservative. Yeah.
Yep. Raiders +3.
Raiders +3 in Las Vegas. Okay. My next game is because we both have the Jaguars, so I'll do Giants +3.5. So the Giants have this really interesting thing where if you look at their schedule, it's like pretty interesting how when they lost to the Vikings, nobody knew the Vikings were the best team in the league. Okay. When they lost to the Commanders, nobody knew so the two teams that have been upgraded the most throughout the season are the two teams that the Giants lost 0-2. And then I thought they played pretty evenly with Dallas in that Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat the Seahawks, who I told you at the beginning of the pod were good. And I just when I started the handicap for this game, I was doing just a pure fade for Cincinnati. I think it's a really big letdown spot for them. And then if you compare the scheduling, Cincinnati's 1-4, and the only team they've beat is Carolina. And then the only team that and then the other game that they should have won, like their two cupcake games, they're 1-1. So, and then to me, this is such a letdown spot for them. They had to win last week and they didn't figure out how to do it. They go now to the New York and they go, all right, let's just go take care of the Giants. I think it's going to be a really tough spot. So there's a trend.
You might have sold me on that one.
There's a trend too that favors this side. So the Bengals were a home dog last week, and now they're an away favorite. So home dog, then away favorite the following week is 42% against the spread in the last 20 years. And if you lose the game when you're the home dog and then you're an away favorite the next week, it goes down to 35% against the spread. And then on top of that, they had to play that game in overtime, and it was extra physical, and it was hot. So I think this is a really, really bad spot for the Bengals. Really bad spot. So I got Giants +3.5. And like I said, I will be playing some Giants money line, and I will be parlaying the Giants to the Bengals, or the Giants to the Commanders, and money line both of those as well.
You might have sold me on the money line parlay.
I also like to go get, like, when I'm making my 5 picks for the contest, I like there to be like little popcorn kernels of oh my God, I'm blanking on the word of correlation. So the Giants beat the Seahawks. Okay, I think the Giants are actually pretty good, so I'm fine with playing the Seahawks. So we've upgraded the Commanders and the Vikings, and I think the Vikings are pretty good, so I'm playing the Jets. So there's these connections throughout my picks that at least I can talk myself into there being some correlation. So maybe if one domino falls, the rest of them do as well.
+820.
Those two, that's a 2-teamer?
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Oh yeah. Put the Raiders put the Raiders, Jaguars, and Jets in there too, and we got
the round robin parlay.
Five doggy round robin. All right. So let's do give me your Jaguars cap.
I've been much higher on the Jags still than like most people.
Yeah, I hate them.
I know you do. You're picking them this week, right?
I'm picking them this week, yeah. And it like hurt my stomach. It made me feel sick. But yes, they're a must play this week.
Yeah, I think being a dog to Chicago,
it's insane.
I know. I still like Lawrence. I just can't lay points with this Bears team. They looked good last week against the Panthers. It's just everything about it makes me want to fade the Bears. People really think the Bears are good, and I just still am
It
not there
drives
at
me
all.
insane. Drives me
Yeah,
insane.
very much because of the coaching staff. Because Caleb's made some good throws. He looked a lot better last week, but it was against the Panthers, and I still like Doug Peterson. I still like Trevor Lawrence. And I don't know. It just feels like the right spot again. I had the Jags last week, and I think a 1-4 Jaguars team who finally got a win is looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think so. You have the Jaguars +2 in London. It's called a home game for the Bears, but it's actually a home game for the Jaguars. There's a very small sample size of this, but the Jaguars actually have a better home field advantage in London than they do in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
So my problem with the Jags is I don't like Peterson, and I don't like that even when they're clearly winning, like this whole season, even when they're clearly winning these games, they still find a way to fuck it up. Like the Colts had no business being in that game, and they're down 2 touchdowns late, and it
Yeah.
still ends up being a coin flip. So, but I think Eberflus and the Bears coaching staff is so bad that those two things at least cancel each other out. And then you have this Bears hype train, like I've been saying for the whole season. Every time the Bears keep winning and covering, we need to keep fading them. It gets more and
Right.
more valuable. I think this is finally the most valuable spot of the season to fade the Bears. I think there's a very reasonable argument to be made that Caleb and the Bears offense looked good because the fucking Panthers have the worst pass rush in the league, and the Jaguars have a very good pass rush. So I expect to see Caleb look very, very bad in this game. I
Hmm.
also expect the Bears to be riding high off of their win last week and then kind of coming into a flat spot in London, and the Jags are in a must-win game when they're 1-4. The other trend I have for this game that's good is um, rookie quarterbacks in London or internationally are 0-5 against the spread and 0-5 straight up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, rookie
I
QBs
didn't know that one.
do not win in London. Jags +2. Some other stuff, and then we'll wrap. But some other stuff for this week that I think is worth mentioning. A trend that I ran into that I think is really, really good is um, teams that just play. So, and this is similar to what we just talked about in the Ravens Bengals handicap, just fading them coming off of that bloodbath with each other. So,
Hmm.
teams that play against the Dan Campbell Lions, so post Lions, they give up 189 yards rushing uh, per game, and they're 23-29 against the spread. So we'll be looking to fade the Cowboys next week. Like
Hmm.
the theory would be the Lions O line is so big and good and physical,
And
and
physical, yeah.
Campbell teams play so physical that you get beat, you get the shit kicked out of you against the Lions, and then you lose the next week. I mean, we already watched it happen with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay eked that win out, and then they got crushed by Denver. Um, the other games that I really considered that I think all um, are correlated to the under are the Raiders, which we talked about.
Hmm.
I think if the Raiders win or cover, that stays under. The Broncos, I think, should not be getting 3 at home, even though I think there's too much. Sometimes it just becomes square to just be like, oh, the Chargers are coming off a bye. All right, yeah, that's great. But the Broncos are better than the Chargers, and they're getting 3 at home. So I don't like that line. And then the Browns are getting 10. And I think if Winston comes into that game at any point, um, so
It's amazing
it's
that he hasn't played yet. Like, hasn't
well,
started yet.
it's because Haslam and the ownership and the GM group, they made this deal and they're paying this guy all this money. So
Yeah.
they're telling Stefanski like, "Hey, we're not gonna blame this season on you. You have to make it work with this guy because we gave him all this money. Like, if there's anything in him, we gotta find it."
Hmm.
Um, but I do think so. I can't play them because I don't know what they're doing. But if the first drive goes bad or Watson gets hurt or anything, if Winston comes into that game, I think the whole team will rally and that defense will get back to form. And 10 points is way too many. I also like the Patriots. I think that getting 7 at home when we just saw how brutal the Texans offense looks without Nico Collins, who's CJ Stroud's like best friend and favorite target.
Yeah.
They really had a hard time scoring. So I wouldn't play this game straight, but I would take the Patriots to the under. I think Patriots +7 in like a 16-10 finish is very, very likely and correlated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I looked at that game too. Um, I want to check the weather. If it's a cold weather game, especially, I would like the Patriots at home in that one. But yeah, I think we're on a lot of the same sides.
Yeah, I actually I like the slate this week a lot, and that doesn't really always necessarily mean anything. I've definitely had some bad weeks when I like the slate, but I got hot. I got hot Sunday. Um, and my handicaps of these games have been really sharp. I had Cowboys first half, Cowboys game, Chiefs first half, Chiefs to the under second half. So we'll see